Hi everyone from Lady Boswell's. It's really lovely to see you, and I hope that doing school at home or school with only a few kids at school is going okay for you and for everyone else around you. I am praying for you all. My name's Hannah. I think we've probably met before, and I'm going to share a story from the Bible today. The story is from the book of Luke in the Bible, and we're going to talk about this story and we're going to see what it means. But I have a question for you first, which is, I wonder if you have ever been lost. I wonder if you can think of a time that you've been lost. If you have a teacher or a grown-up around, they might like to pause the video at this point and you might like to talk about a time that you were lost with someone who's near you. But being lost, no matter where it is really scary. It's dangerous because when you're lost, you can't help yourself, you can't save yourself, and you need someone to rescue you. Well, God speaks to us in his book, the Bible, and he tells us that you and I, are lost. And you might think, I know exactly where I am. I'm in my house or I'm at my school. But God isn't really talking about being lost in a place. He's talking about a different type of lost. But this type of lost really matters. The story of Zacchaeus, here's Zacchaeus, can help us here. So Zacchaeus' job was to collect money from people. He's going to come and collect all of this money from people and give it to the government. He was a very rich man, but people didn't really like him very much. And that's because Zacchaeus used to steal people's money. We'll help him carry all of his money over here. In fact, Zacchaeus was a sinner. He didn't live God's way, but Zacchaeus heard some excellent news. Jesus was coming, and Zacchaeus really wanted to meet Jesus. This was so exciting because Jesus had never met Jesus before. Who was he? What was he like? What sorts of things did he do and did he say? One thing Zacchaeus knew was that Jesus was a very special person, and Zacchaeus was going to do anything to see who Jesus was. But the crowds that were waiting to see Jesus were so big, and Zacchaeus over here, well, he was quite short. He's struggling here. But Zacchaeus would do anything to see who Jesus was, and so Zacchaeus climbed up a tree. He didn't care what people thought. He just wanted to see who Jesus was. And then Jesus came closer and closer, and from high up in the tree, Zacchaeus could see him. And Jesus looked up right at Zacchaeus and he spoke to him. He said, "Zacchaeus, hurry and come down because I need to stay with you today." Well, Zacchaeus did hurry and come down. He had only wanted to see who Jesus was, but now Jesus was going to stay with him. The people were not very happy about that. They knew that Zacchaeus was a sinner. He doesn't deserve Jesus, they thought. But when Jesus came to stay with Zacchaeus, something happened. Zacchaeus changed. Zacchaeus realized that all of his stealing and greediness was wrong. He realized that he was a sinner, that he wasn't living God's way, and that if Jesus was going to come and stay with him, Zacchaeus needed to change. So Zacchaeus gave half of everything he owned to the poor. And he also gave back 4 times everything that he had stolen. Look at all this. And when Jesus, who had come to look for Zacchaeus and come to stay with him, saw what Zacchaeus was doing, he said, "Salvation has come to this house today." Zacchaeus had been saved. He had been saved from his sin by Jesus, and so he changed. Just a little bit later in the Bible, Jesus comes to Jerusalem. He comes to Jerusalem to die on the cross. You see, in this part of the Bible, in the story about Zacchaeus, God wants us to see something. Jesus saves sinners by dying for them. Sinners like Zacchaeus and sinners like us. Maybe you don't feel like a sinner, but remember, Zacchaeus was a sinner because he hadn't lived God's way. And you and I are sinners because we haven't lived God's way either. And we have lived our own way instead. We haven't listened to God or obeyed him. We haven't loved him or treated him like our king. We are lost in sin. But when Jesus comes to look for and to save and to change people who are lost in sin, when we see Jesus and say yes to him and trust in him to save us, he does save us and he changes us so that we can live his way. So today's question is a big question. Have you been saved and changed by Jesus? Let me pray. You can join in with me if you're someone who trusts Jesus and wants to talk to him. And I'm going to talk to God now. Dear God, thank you that Jesus came to look for and to save people who are lost in sin. Please help us to see that we are sinners like Zacchaeus because we have loved other things more than Jesus. Thank you that Zacchaeus changed when he met Jesus. Please help us to see that we need Jesus to save us from our sin. Amen.
So the God of the universe can be the Father of you. He's the biggest, most powerful, most loving Father too. Anyone, everyone can be in the family of God. No matter who you are, no matter what you've done. Anyone, everyone can be in the family of God by accepting and trusting Jesus, God's one and only Son. So the God of the universe can be the Father of you. He's the biggest, most powerful, most loving Father too. Anyone, everyone can be in the family of God. No matter who you are, no matter what you've done. Anyone, everyone can be in the family of God by accepting and trusting Jesus. Anyone, everyone can be in the family of God. No matter who you are, no matter what you've done. Anyone, everyone can be in the family of God by accepting and trusting Jesus, God's one and